Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wake Up Call. The Wake Up Call is where we talk and we geek out on governance and nonprofit governance primarily. And we go over tips and tools and experiences and practices and so on. And today on episode 4, we're going to talk about how you can be on boards if you've never done it. And if you've never had that idea, maybe this will help you to see if that's a good fit for you. I'm going to have a special tool later on that we're going to be sharing. I wanted to take a moment to send out some thoughts to some a teammate, Meg. I know you're there right now too, and I hope that you are with your village today as you experience loss this week. So, thinking of you and your family. Uh, why do we want to become a board member? So, I wanted to talk to you about good reasons to becoming a board member and bad reasons to becoming a board member. And they exist. So, I wanted to go over that with you because there are some really good reasons to becoming a board member. There are really good reasons why you would want to take on this volunteer position. Now, most boards are volunteer positions. You can get some things uh, covered, like expenses and so on, like if you're asked to go to meetings or so on. But generally, this role is volunteer based. And good reasons for joining a board are skill building and giving you the tools that you need, giving you experience, feeling valued and feeling needed, and offering up your expertise. Um, you can also believe in the organization's mission and want to support them. So there are some of those reasons that we get on boards. For me, a good reason is because I'm a governance geek. I really enjoy it. But also, I like to find organizations which meet my skill level, where I feel that my experience will be valued, where I can feel like I'm making a difference. Those are good reasons to be on a board. I think that if you're looking to make a difference as a volunteer, and you're not necessarily wanting to, you know, go help at events or, you know, you might be asked to do that anyway, but if you're not like a soup maker or a meal maker, or you're not necessarily one to go do fundraising or, those kinds of things, which again, you might be asked to do when you're on a board, but giving your time as a board member is valuable and important for an organization. What are bad reasons for being on boards? Bad reasons could be you were wrongly enticed to be on a board. So I don't want you to listen to somebody who says, just come, it's once a week. We have good meals and you're going to meet people. That's not a reason to be on a board. Okay. If you're enticing people to come onto your board like that, stop doing that. We need to inform, we need to give good basis for these people coming to your boards. Because if you do that, people will get disengaged very quickly because they're going to realize that it wasn't for them, or they're going to realize that they weren't aligned with the organization's mission, or they won't have the right skills because what they really wanted to do was offer their time in another way. So, um, another reason for not being on boards, or bad reason, is if you're just wanting to help once in a while. Like, I just wanna help them a little bit. I feel like I want to provide some support to this organization, and I just wanna go once in a while. Well, that might not be the best reason to be on a board. You could be on a committee, you could be a volunteer, and you can help once in a while, but a board commitment is a lengthy commitment, and you have to be ready for that. The other thing, you could be, uh a bad reason for joining is because your friend asked you to be on a board. So it's not a horrible reason. It's just shouldn't be the base reason. So a friend, you could approach people to help on your board, and you could recruit that way, but it shouldn't. rely solely on the fact that your friend's on that board, so you should be on that board and so on, because we want a diverse board, we want skill-based boards, we want people there for a good reason. The other reasons of for not, it shouldn't be just about socializing, it shouldn't be just about, well, I'm good at social media and I can help them. I want you to reflect on why boards are a good fit for you. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to share with you right now a tool, and it's a board fit finder. So it's a tool that is going to help you align your passions and your areas of expertise and your background and your skills and your experience, to the types of organizations that you should be looking and seeking out to support as a board member. And sometimes I'm just going to share that with you on the chat here. It's in the description to the video as well. So if that's something that you're interested, go click on that link and get it. It'll go to your email. It's a PDF, it's a booklet. It's a real legit tool that you're going to be able to fill out either on PDF or print it, whatever, old school. If you want to think about it over coffee, huh? Over coffee, you could fill that out. But as we go through the document, you're going to see that you're going to be filling out passions. So we start with that as a board member. So it's important to identify what your purpose is to help, why you're passionate about a certain topic. And it doesn't always have to be the element to why you should be on that board, but it helps you think about, what am I passionate about? Am I passionate about health? Am I passionate about giving to other, like charities, special causes? Are you passionate about theater? Are you passionate about accounting? That happens. Not me, but that happens for some people. Like we've got the numbers girl here, Mel. She wants to be on boards to help them with their finances, their bookkeeping, making sure everybody's on in line. For me, usually it's the governance committee. I like to be in the policies. I like to have proper good governance. And for some people, it's the fundraising. Not me, but some people are really good at fundraising and they really like being there. And for some people, why are you on boards? If you're in the chat, tell me why what you're passionate about and what drives you to be on boards. So you're going to talk, if you're looking at that document, or when you will have an opportunity to look at that document, you'll see you talk about passions. You talk about your areas of expertise too. So what are you good at? What could you offer as a value? And good morning, little angel tribe. I'm so glad to see you on here. And Francine, bonjour, comment ça va? I'm bilingual. I'll talk whatever language you want to talk about in the when you want to use in the chat. So thank you. Bon matin, tout le monde. So we talk about areas of expertise and what you're good at. Um, you don't have to necessarily be good at developing policies. You don't have to necessarily be good at doing finance. We need a lot of value and a lot of skills and a lot of expertises around a board. And those are all valuable. We need diversity. I joined a board one time and I asked them, do you think I fit in properly? I don't look like everybody else on the board. I was a lot younger at the time. And they told me, you know what? I think that that's why we do need you on the board. So that for me was mind blowing because I had never thought of it like that necessarily at the time. That they wanted to diversify their board and they needed somebody like me who was, a woman, a mother, an entrepreneur, somebody who knew governance, a francophone. Those kinds of things were required. And they had a skill matrix and they were, they wanted to tick off some boxes and I fit. So that was fantastic. All right. The other thing that that document is going to help you go through or brainstorm is your background. So what have you done professionally, work-wise? What's your journey like? Are you a parent? What are your experiences that could really help to diversify or to bring experience to the board. And I think those things are important to think about. Like, why do I want to be on a community-based board, or why do I want to be on the local theater board, or why do I want to be on such and such a board? So I think that that's important. The other thing is skills. So skills, areas of expertise are one thing, but the skills, what can you bring? Are you good at writing? Are you good at editing? Are you good at looking at numbers? Are you good at key messaging? Are you good at looking at the big picture? Or are you good at looking at details? Are you detail oriented? So those kinds of things, just brainstorm them and write them on the page or type them out because it's a fillable PDF. And so those kinds of key elements are really important. The other thing that I wanted to bring up was in that document is experience. So what is your experience? So we've had background, but what's your experience? And I don't necessarily like saying experience in leadership, because sometimes people don't consider themselves leaders. And, um, along my journey, I was on multiple boards. I've been on boards for like over 20 years, and I would never have qualified myself as a leader at back then. But I loved community involvement. I loved being there. I loved being a joiner. I like committees, and I like being because I actually feel like my skills and my areas of expertise could be of value. And don't we all want that? Don't we all want to be of value? So if you're going through this board fit finder and you're evaluating that, but and you're not necessarily finding that you would be a good for a board, but you'd be great on a committee. You'd be great at helping out. Like, these things are going to help you identify where you should be. And then the types of organizations are in there, or they're not in there, but it helps you to define, like, have you ever thought of being on a board and what kind of organization? Sometimes these things fall on our lap. And sometimes you'll hear or you'll see, a board posting. If you go on my Facebook right now, LMD Solutions, you'll see that a few boards have posted, and I shared those. If you have a board and you need to recruit and you need some support in your recruitment process, send me along the link and I will share that on my Facebook, because a lot of people trust that I can share good boards, and we can work together to fill those seats on your board. Because there's nothing worse than having a recruitment and retention problem on a board. And boy, do we have the tools to support that. So just stay tuned, because I'm still giddy from yesterday's experience, Mel, that we had. We're developing something that's going to support you all, and I'm so excited about it. More on that later. So, and then you're going to create a summary of all of those things, and that summary is going to help you craft things like an email. You're going to email an organization, or you're going to get an email, or you're going to respond to an ad. It's going to help you craft those messages. What am I good at? Why would I be on the board? It's going to also help you. The obvious is your resume. It's going to help you with your letters of interest. It's going to help you pinpoint why you want to be on a board and what could help them, how you can be of value to them. Because that's what we got to do. You're selling yourself, and you've got to be this. The other key element that's this board fit finder is going to help you do is narrow down your criteria. So, I know now, because I did the fit finder, that I don't want to do certain things, or I should not be promoting the fact that I'm good at XYZ, because I'm not. It's not what I'm passionate about. I don't want to be known as somebody who is great at finance, or, or fundraising. I want to be known as the good governance person, as somebody who's going to help you with your policies and procedures, who's going to help you with your bylaws. I'm that person. I'll go help you. And so that's what we're identifying. The other key point, and I wrote a bunch of stars beside this note, is that doing the board fit finder is going to give you points of conversation when you are at a networking event. And I got chills when I wrote it this morning because when you're at a networking event and there's like all these professionals and nobody's really talking about boards, but it's the best time to talk about it. Express the idea that you are interested in being on boards because you know what? Being on when you're a board member, every every quarter, every year, you have to recruit people. Okay. And oftentimes we're like, oh, we think that person would be great, or we think that person would be great, or, this would be a great, person that we could invite or see if they're, and it's based on that little network of people that are sitting around the board recruiting, trying to bring in new people. If you're at an event and you say, "You know what? I'm really interested in board work." If you ever hear of that, "I'm interested in governance, I'm interested in bylaws, I'm interested in fundraising, I'm interested in really making sure that the books are stable." If you say that, you're gonna find a board really quickly, okay? People are dying to have these people on these boards that are interested in governance. And so if you happen to mention it to the right people or, start placing those messages around the room, they're great conversation starters because a lot of professionals that are at these networking events either heard of boards, they are on boards, or they know of a board, or they have a friend that's looking. And it's a great tool, this board fit finder, to help you identify what you should be saying to these people and how you could be expressing that. So there you go. The board fit finder, go check it out on my website. Enter your email. You'll get it through your email as a PDF. Again, it's fillable. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about was the next step to this. So this is a 2 or 3 step process. Next week, we're going to be talking about the other tool, and I'm trying to find it right now that it will be useful to you. It's going to be your engagement planner. So, board engagement planner worksheet. And so, how you're going to put this in practice. All right. So, that's going to be really interesting next week. Suzanne, because the core values align with mine, it's not a passion, it's an interest. How the experience will increase my skills and what or how I can be an asset, or I'm assuming an asset to the organization. Yeah, that's why we go on boards. I want to be an asset. I want to feel like what I'm doing is great and it will be valued by the organization. And core values are super important. If you're looking at an organization online or you see an ad for a board member, go check out their mission, their vision, their values, their principles, and what do they stand for and what are they doing? And again, I'm going to be developing a list of questions that board members or potential board members or you that are looking for boards, a list of questions that you can ask, what's your governance model like? What are how often are your meetings? Do you have risk management on your board? Am I going to feel safe there? Is there diversity? All of those questions that you can ask and that will fulfill the, those blanks that are in your mind about what are you getting into. Are there any other questions before I move on or before we close off today? Because we're already at 18 minutes, almost 19 minutes. I think 20 minutes is the sweet spot. I hope that you enjoy the Fit Finder, Board Fit Finder. This name is complicated for me. But yeah, look at those reasons why you want to be a board member, or if you already are a board member, why are you sitting around that table? This will help you identify that. And it'll give you confidence and it'll give you a reason, a raison d'être, to be around that table. And if you are on a board and you're really not in the right place, well, take a look at that and see if you really want to continue, if it aligns with what you really want to do. Listen, okay, being on a board is a volunteer job. And it's demanding. Okay, you have board documents to read, you have to get to these meetings, you have to, assist and participate, and sometimes you're asked to do other tasks. If this is not aligning with things that you want to be doing, well, find another board. Use your skills, your experience, and your journey and your passions towards something that you want to be doing. It's going to make you a better board member. And the people on the boards are going to appreciate you. And so, you know, this is your time that you're giving. Make it the best it can be. All right. I'm going to leave you with that quote. Have a good day, everybody. If you do have any questions, you know where to find me. In the description, you'll find all of my socials. You'll find all the links you need. And I'm also going to share in that description the calendar of the sessions that we're going to have for the month of September. Francine is adding, I need to feel like I can contribute. And isn't that all what we want? We want to feel like we are needed. So thank you, everybody. Have a good day. The wake up call is back tomorrow. Tomorrow we celebrate wins. All right. See you there.